Takadachi. Apostle DeBar has his, he's passing the camera to
Slowpoke Rodriguez.
Slowpoke Rodriguez. And it's on and popping. Anyway, I'm going to go back to my list. I only got one precept off, which was Jeremiah 49, verse 7, 22. Let's read that real quick. Let's deal with this list. Let's see how many precepts we get off this list. Jeremiah 49, verse 7. We're gonna read pretty quick.
Okay, Jeremiah 49 and 7. Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished?
The Temanites, we teach and believe that they're the Germans because they're the smartest of the Edomites. And I mean, I can give you all kind of receipts on how smart, on a technical level, the Germans are, man.
Yeah.
This technology came from the Germans, you know?
After World War II, all of those German scientists, half of them went to Russia.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the other half,
that was the space race.
Yeah.
The space race.
Yep.
Your hair's getting kind of long, brother. I'm messing with it's still where it's supposed to be.
Come.
You know I'm messing with you. All right, go ahead. Let's go.
Jeremiah 49 7.
Yep.
Yeah, Jeremiah 49 and 7. Got it back.
Okay.
8th verse. Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of the Don. For I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him.
Now I want to say this concerning, bring up Vocab Malone. Vocab Malone ran up on one camp. I believe it was one of our camps out in the Midwest or something. And he said, I think he read something concerning Edom and Mount Seir. And he said, you mean to tell me Europeans were living in no, Europeans were not living in Mount Seir. Edomites were living in Mount Seir. And Edomites went to Europe. And by the way, Europe was named after, oh, here comes Jaguar. Europe was named after, I'm surprised to see him. I can tell that, he comes his own way.
Mount Seir?
Mount Seir, they left Mount Seir, and then they went around the world. They got scattered just like Israel got scattered, Go ahead.
9th verse. If grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If these by night they will destroy till they had enough.
Right. Now, gleaning grapes represent what? You take a certain amount of grapes. In the law, you take 90% of the grapes, you leave 10% for the poor. So that when the Most High comes, the Most High is coming to take it all.
Yeah.
All right?
He ain't leaving you nothing.
He ain't leaving you nothing.
Yeah.
That's the thing, man.
Yeah.
There he is.
Shalom.
Shalom. Hey, who be making them t-shirts, bro?
Huh?
Who makes some t-shirts?
I know about 3 people. Yeah. I got
That's what's up, man.
I got I know 2 cats in New York and another cat down south.
That's
I got a whole lot of these.
That's some nice work.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Better than the one you had last week. That one is
the one I had the 12 tribes joint
that's
last
the topper. That's the topper right there.
I got about 30 of these, yo. And my man down south, he do good work too.
What do you charge you?
40.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
But it's quality work.
We got
you can't buy t-shirts for $1.
Oh, no.
$5 t-shirts. You can't even, white t-shirts you can't get for $5.
And if you get them for $1, once you wash them, they shrink.
Oh yeah, they'll shrink up.
And Baby Huey shirts.
Yep.
Yeah, like I started getting these maybe 2016. There was a guy who actually used to be with us in HOI. He used to read for Zabak, but only on Saturday nights. But he left like maybe 2016 or 17.
Right.
Whatever reason he stepped.
Right.
But he lived in Brooklyn. So he was the first one who started coming up. And I've been wearing shirts like these for a while, but now everybody wants to jump in similar stuff,
Yeah.
So,
He's paid. I don't know if does he still sell t-shirts or he just kind of.
the guy that I know,
You said the guy that fell off, so to speak.
No, he didn't fall off. He's just not in HOI anymore.
Oh, okay, okay. He's still okay.
Yeah, he's still in the
Okay.
troop. He's just not
Okay.
with Supply.
He's still in the fight.
He's still in
Yeah.
the fight. Yeah.
Yeah. He lives in Brooklyn. He got you can check him on Facebook. Warriors for Israel. He got a whole. Not only does he have the, he got hoodies.
Oh, yeah.
I got.
I can imagine. He makes
Yeah.
garments. He makes garments too. Well, he should think
No.
about getting into garments as a thing, man.
Yeah.
You know?
You know I get garments from. You remember Shaol from Jersey, Little Shaw Shaol. He do good stuff too.
I used to make my own garments.
Yeah.
I got a fucking machine years ago. This had to be in the 90s.
Wow.
And I got good at it, man. The first garment I fucked up, and I just got good at it. But then I stopped. You got to be in the spirit. That's,
Yeah.
That's back when we had the armband,
Yeah.
and the girdles. And
I was
the
ready to
business
wear them
Brother,
today.
I used to make them, man.
Remember
We used to
the-
go down to Spring Street.
Uh-huh.
Get the big slab of leather.
Yep.
You know, cut the leather. You know,
We don't wear that.
Hey,
we
remember-
just,
With the arm guards.
yeah, brother, we just come. You know.
Yeah.
Come on, T-shirt, wear
Yeah.
that.
Hey, you checked
show
out
on
the
Yeah.
bummer lights.
All right.
Yep. Hey,
Thanks,
you checked
Bob.
out this guy
Nate.
Nate. That motherfucker looking sick, man. The last video.
Now, Nathaniel number
He
3.
looking. Yeah, Nathaniel guy. He's looking sick, man.
Yeah.
He's looking. Oh, he looked like he aged. His voice ain't. I mean, you were showing me the
Wow.
video today.
Yeah.
Nah, I didn't.
So now I
wasn't
don't know
wearing that.
if he took the jab. I know he had. I know he had his people. He filmed it where it was getting tested. So
Yeah.
if you get tested, you're gonna take it. Well, they tell you even if you pass the test,
Right.
you're good. You still got to take the jab. Now, hold up. Now, well, you said that. Just as we report. You got to take. It's in the news anyway, so it's confirmed. Now you got to take two pills a day, and then you got to take jabs on a regular.
Right. Boosters.
Whether it's like once. Well, Alex Jones said like 10 times out of a year. 10 times. So we talking about every month in a week. You got to take that shot.
Wow. He was down there at that Trade Center thing.
Back in there, yeah.
Everybody was down there.
Oh,
Got
You had
sick
said
and
that
died.
They
before.
got sick, man. They got sick and done it.
Years ago, he was getting them. He was getting the shakes. He was getting the fucking shakes.
Yeah.
This was back in like 2010. You know?
Yeah, you got
He was sent down there.
Wow.
His job was to go down there and help clean up.
Yeah, he was walking around in dead bodies and all that. But
crazy.
I don't know if he got the shine or if it's a thing. Even the brother, you know, everybody looks at us. Oh, we hate them. Look, a brother in our camp that deals with herbs and all that. He's gonna make a video offering to help us.
Nate.
He just gotta give us
Wow,
some.
he looked like that.
Yeah,
Show
yeah.
him, show
Let me
it
see.
to him, show it to him, man.
Sure.
Show 'em what you got.
Keep reading that.
The 10th verse,
I like this
Jeremiah
guy.
49 and 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able
I
to.
make Esau bare,
Look skinnier.
uncovered his secret places, meaning
His
the
voice,
Illuminati. Skip me, hold that quick and give me Psalm 64 and go right to the point
Let me see. See if
of them fleeing. Really, you can read the whole chapter. Because it's a short chapter. Go to it real quick. Let's go through it real quick.
Psalm 64 and 1. Hear my
Okay,
voice,
yeah.
O Yahweh, in my
Water,
prayer.
water.
Nah, you got it. Loud.
Preserve my life from fear of the enemy.
Who's the enemy? The Edomites. The elite. Go
we say
ahead.
events.
Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. From
The secret council of the wicked. That's the Illuminati.
We talking about that last
From
week.
the insurrection.
I always talk about that. Go ahead.
Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. From the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
The insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
5
Go
days
ahead.
ago.
Who whet their tongue like a
This
sword.
one, secret.
And bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
Yeah, they got plans to come up against Israel, and ultimately they want to do away with the nation, with the sons of Israel. You
Yeah.
know? Go ahead.
They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately.
It's all about being private and secretive. You know, the average person out here in America, all around the world, well, let's deal with America. You got this Biden guy, they actually think that Biden is the top guy. You can't go any higher than Biden and Kamala Harris. That shows you where their mind is, man.
Low level.
You're on the low level.
Yep. I got some real quick, Apostle.
The valley of the shadow of death. Valley meaning the lowland. This is a lowland moral. Go ahead.
This is Daniel chapter 2, verse 20. Daniel answered and said, Blessed be the name of the power forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. And he changeth the times and the seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. He revealeth the deep and secret things. He knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth with him. Verse 28. But there is a power in heaven that revealeth secrets.
There's a power in heaven that revealeth secrets. Now this morning I did a video entitled Revelation chapter 5 because somebody asked me on the comment board, I forget the person's name, but it's still up there on the comment board. It says, comment section, it says, Shalom, Tahar, Pastor, whatever. Could you humbly do, which he didn't have to say humbly, you know, like, I'm not the Most High. If you ask me, look, brother, break this down for me, I'll do it. Brother, you don't got to all humble and whatnot. Just ask me and I'll do it, brother, because guess what? Whether you know it or not, we like doing what we do.
Yes.
We like for people to ask us questions, to break this down. We love doing that, man.
Yeah.
Why? Because that's the will of the Most High.
Labor of love. Labor of
The will
love.
of the Most High, man.
And then that makes you go and have to go over stuff just to make sure, you know.
That's it. That's it.
You know.
Yeah, well,
Now to me, Revelation the 5th chapter is an easy chapter.
Yeah.
But when I went into it, because before I do a video, I kind of proofread it. I mean, I already know it, but I said I see why he asked because it's not that simple.
Right.
I mean, it's simple to me.
Right.
Because I've been in this for so many years, you know.
Well, you know, you get to the 9th verse. It speaks about nations and tongues and all that, and that throws people off.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
So,
well, that's the answer to Revelation 7 and 9. Where vocab always says, what about the mixed multitude?
Right.
The body of believers, which can be of any nation? No, the answer to that is Revelation 5.
Yeah.
I got a precept.
Go ahead.
This is Obadiah 1 and 6. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? And the answer to that is the Most High.
Yeah.
Here it is, the Most High reveals his secrets to his servants, the prophets, but he also reveals everything that he set up Esau, right? On his left. And he reveals the things that he made Esau do to his servants.
Yeah.
So that's how, by setting up his holy men to declare unto his chosen men what's going on.
That's it.
that links up with 2 Thessalonians.
I got it.
Yeah,
2 Thessalonians 2 and 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed.
that's how the things of Esau search out.
Yeah. But not to everybody,
Right.
only to his elect.
And then when you go in Psalm 64, which we're reading, the Lord said He'd put the Spirit on certain members of that group to reveal themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We call them whistleblowers.
Right.
Over the years,
Whistle.
yeah. Over the years, you've had many whistleblowers. You had John Todd. You had what's his name? Well, actually, Anthony Hilda was part of the Illuminati, but he was coming out and revealing them.
Yep.
Anthony Hilda, Jordan Maxwell, Terry Cook, Ray Youngin. That's Apostle Tahar's favorite. Ray Youngin.
Not
Yeah.
necessarily, not really. Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
You know, you always talking.
Eustace Mullins.
Oh yeah, you always talk about Ray Youngin.
Yeah.
You said that's a deep dude.
Yeah.
But he was going into in that Millennium 2000. He was going into the what's he going into? Wizard of Oz. I think it was breaking that down. So that was
Something like that.
Yeah,
That's an old video.
Yeah, old video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it.
Go ahead. Where we at?
You was reading.
No, that was it.
2 Thessalonians 2 and 8.
Oh yeah.
And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
So
And
who's the spirit of the Most High's mouth? Us. The
prophet,
Most
yeah.
High speaking to us. The Most High speaking to me, yourself, you. Any man that goes into these scripts and break them down, the Lord speaking to you. You know?
Con.
Even men that was witness and had fallen on. Hey, Yeshaya, he was revealing this man. He fell off though. He became a castaway. High Priest Ariel, he was revealing this man. You know, what is he doing now? I don't know what the hell he's doing. Shaw, High Priest Shaw, I don't know what they're doing. You know?
Yeah, that's
The scriptures say others have entered into your labor.
Yes.
So these guys, they got old, some of them died, some of them fell off, and then we came in. So he said, well, I'm not going to listen to you guys. You guys ain't on the level. Those are my real teachers, the 7. Well, the 7 was there just to fill a void until we came in. You know?
Yeah.
The gates of hell shall not prevail against it.
Many are called, few are chosen.
Many called, few are chosen.
Yeah.
And like we went through a big thing with this thing, with the King David thing. The King David thing. Because this guy's basically, I ran into a video of Sakari. I don't know where they were, but this guy, so-called Christian Jake, his mother was an Edomite. When you watch the whole video, you see why he wants to say Edomite, because his mother's an Edomite.
Right.
You know? So he reads out of, a matter of fact, go to it, Ezekiel 37, 23 and 24. Let's go through that real quick.
Ezekiel chapter 37.
Sakari's teaching that King David ain't going to be king sitting on the throne in the kingdom. There's several scriptures on that. There's several scriptures on that. So guess what? For this whole week, we've been going back and forth with this guy. And I'm
They
like,
just came up with this doctrine or whatever.
This video was maybe put up maybe a year ago,
Yeah.
maybe 6 months ago.
You talking about Alazar?
I'm talking about Aldazar. He's saying, first of all, the guy says, he says the book of Hebrews is not inspired by the Most High.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it's in the book.
right.
It's in the book, man.
Deacon Akar.
Pretty much he says the Apostle Paul, he might as well say it, the Apostle Paul is a liar. Now he might say, I never said that. Okay, you correct me.
In a roundabout
But
way.
for you to say the book of Hebrews is not the word of the Lord, that's ridiculous,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's ludicrous.
I think I did hear
Ludicrous.
something about
I
it.
mean, you listen to a guy, I don't listen to that guy all the time. There's so many videos out there, man. But I ran across that one, and I'm thinking, I'm hearing the guy breaking it down to the dude, and I said, wait a minute, maybe I heard that wrong. I had to rewind that shit back.
Yeah.
I said, wait, look, you going off. I took the camera,
Right.
boom, I made a little video.
As
put
my
it up
manner
raw.
is.
Yep, put it up raw,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, yeah.
And guess what? The next day, no, late at night, it was like 4 in the goddamn morning, this nigga was doing a live stream, 4 in the morning with a sign, but the spirit woke me up 4 in the damn morning. You know, I'll get up.
get
I
up,
do that.
yeah.
I get up 4 in the morning, 3 in the
Right.
morning, I can't go back to sleep.
You
So
wide
I'm
awake.
clicking, and oh shit, there's a lot. This nigga doing a live stream. It's goddamn 4 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then guess what? The video's on me. Something about Apostle Jahad, the King David thing. I said, look, brother, if you're saying that King David is an insignificant guy, you don't know the scriptures, man.
That's it.
King David ain't gonna be in the kingdom of heaven with a billion thrones. And I said, well, where's King David at? Oh, he about three miles down.
If you go 3
You see
weeks.
all them thrones and the crowns and shit? That's a billion of us, right? You just drive 3 miles down, make a left, and you see King David right in his crown. Which is bullshit, man.
Right. He's a major figure.
God.
He's a major figure.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, he came in his lot many times, pursuant to Daniel, the 12th chapter. If Daniel came back in his lot, every other man of the Lord is going to come back in their lot. You ain't going to come back, you ain't going to be a prophet, Isaiah back in the past, but then you come back, you own a burger joint. You know what I'm saying? Or you own the fucking brothel and
You always do the same.
You always do the same thing.
I got
You
a
know,
quick
the
precept
spirit
for
of
you.
the prophet is subject to the prophet.
That's right.
That's right. Hosea 3, 4, and 5. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king,
Beautiful.
and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image, and without an ephod, and without teraphim. Afterward shall the children of Israel return and seek the Lord their God.
That's talking about now. We're returning. The fact that you saw a video or you came across brothers. When I came into this in the 80s. But I knew about this thing since the 70s. When I was a kid.
Wow.
I remember when Ariel was in his 30s, man. I remember when Mo was in his 40s.
Damn. Because when we came in, they were like going into like their maybe late 50s.
50s and 60s.
Yeah.
You know,
I got a quick precept, Salaki, brother. I got a quick precept.
well, I haven't finished reading.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Afterward, Hosea 3 and 5, Afterward shall the children of Israel return and seek the Lord their God and David their king,
Right.
and shall fear the Lord and his goodness in
What,
the latter
what
days.
time period is that talking about now?
Now.
Us searching for King David is talking about what time
Yeah.
period right now?
Right now. I
It
got it.
said in the latter days.
Con.
When is the latter days? Now.
Right
Now.
now. Con.
You got it.
First Maccabees 2:57. David, for being merciful, possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom.
Good.
You know, and he said
Put that in your mental Rolodex.
he's gonna be.
Everlasting is the key word.
That's it. You know.
Meaning he's going to always come back in his
Yeah.
life. He was Eliakim. He had to be Eliakim.
Yeah.
In
Con,
Isaiah the
con. Yep.
22nd
Yep,
chapter,
yep.
because Eliakim was one of the only guys that got the key.
The keys. Yep.
Yeah.
Give me
You
them
know?
keys.
And Peter, they later Peter.
And Peter,
Yeah, yeah.
So Peter
David
was
got the key,
Yep.
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Or the keys.
Yep.
Peter.
Peter got the key.
Yep.
Okay, that's how we know that it was King David coming back.
Yeah.
Precept.
Now wait a minute, Yahushua had 11 choices to choose from, right? Because Judas had betrayed him.
But he didn't even choose. It was the Most High that said this, because if he had the choice to choose, John would be number one.
Right, that's right.
And that
That's
shows
correct.
you that there's a
Correct.
difference between the father and the son.
Right,
That's
that's
it.
right.
Oh, was it James and John's mother?
Yep.
Put one son on that side and put the other son on the other side.
Yep.
And he said, well, that's not for me to give.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
So how could it be the same spirit?
Can't be the same story.
But Pastor is right. The point I was making, he had other choices than Peter. Why was Peter chosen? Why was specifically Peter? Because of who Peter is in his past life, or who he was in his past life. He was David. Yeah, go ahead.
This is Hosea 1:11. It says, Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head. And they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel. And that land is here, North America. Well, let me say Babylon the Great.
And what does I'm gonna throw this out there.
Babylon the
Hey,
Great.
shalom, brother.
All right, so,
What's going on? What's going on?
so
I wanted to say that like you said, the last days, the last days which we're living in, because it's been a long time since Israel as a whole came together as one kingdom.
Yeah.
You know, because it was separated, right? The northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, and now here in Babylon, through the word, the elect have come together.
Yeah.
And if they're coming together, if it's a kingdom, then the kingdom must have a king.
Right.
So who is that king?
Right.
Also, pursuant to Amos 9, it speaks about the tabernacle of David.
David.
Now, how the hell are you going to have a tabernacle of David
it.
without David?
Right. That's
What
it.
sense does that make?
It's called after him, but he ain't a part
But
of
he
it.
Right.
can't be.
He's
yeah.
not in there, right.
He's just an ordinary guy.
Right.
So
So,
he'll be
yeah.
3 miles back.
Tabernacle
Like
of
I
David.
said, you got a billion and one
Yeah.
king sitting down doing nothing in the kingdom, but you
Yeah.
go 3 miles out, make a left, and that's King David.
Right. He's in the
You know?
crowd.
I got the precept
Get out
for
the
you.
crowd.
He's cooking chicken.
The book of Amos 9:11.
I mean,
Yeah.
what is Al-Azhar thinking about, brother?
He ain't.
And there's no way he can explain himself out of what he said, what the guy said. And that's why I made the video, man.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't make the video because let me look for a video, man. I want to get on him
Oh, they
this
stick
week.
it
No,
to him.
I seen the man going off,
Yep.
and I said, this man is going off.
Right.
Yeah, we operate in the spirit.
Hey, Yahushua said, beware of the doctrine, the leaven and the doctrine of the wicked Pharisees,
Yeah,
scribes,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Sadducees.
And
That's our job.
And we're only going to set up for it as a defense
The
of the
gospel.
gospel.
Yeah.
Now, when you look the word defense up in the Greek, the word is apologia. That's why this guy, vocab, and them call himself apologists.
Right.
They're apologists to that lie that they're teaching.
Yeah.
We're apologists to the truth.
Right.
You know?
They're apologists to Satan.
That's it.
Amos 9:11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen,
Yeah.
and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
So if you're going to build it as in the days of old,
Yep.
you need David, which is the key ingredient. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yep. I got a precept. This is Revelation 3 and 7. It says, and to the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, these things saith he that is holy, he that is true, he that hath the key of David, he that openeth and no man shutteth, and shutteth and no man openeth. So if David wasn't important and he wasn't in that equation, why would Yahweh Shai have that key of David?
Exactly.
Because he set David up to be the king here on earth. And then Yahweh Shai, when he comes down, he will reign, but the King David will be under him.
That's it.
It's an order. There's an order in the heavens and there's an order upon earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not saying David is the king of kings.
Right. We're
No.
not saying that.
We're saying David is just the king.
Right.
But Yahweh Shai is the king
The
of
king.
kings.
Right. King of kings.
And
That's it.
David is going to be, David having the head position underneath Yahweh Shai, the king of
Right.
kings.
Right. I got something real quick. This is Haggai 2 and 9. The glory of this latter house shall be greater than of the former, saith the Lord of hosts. And in this place will I give peace, saith the Lord of hosts. Because the Lord is building that back up. You know, I have.
Tabernacle of David, man.
That's it.
Well, one of the reasons, Alizé, you're saying what you're saying because you're not of the house of David. In
That's
2
it.
Samuel, it speaks about there was war.
But you can't be in the house of David. You're an Israelite.
Right.
You're going to be in the kingdom, but you're not in the house of David. You know?
The scriptures clearly
That's
speak
right.
about a war between the house of David and the house of Saul. And that's spiritual, man.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
guys that can't accept David being king, probably because you're of the house of Saul.
Yeah.
You're not of the house of David.
Kind of.
Yeah, so we got Ezekiel
I got
37.
it.
Let's go back
Got
to
it.
23 and 24.
Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 23. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with
You know what? Jump up to the 16th verse.
16.
You might get all the meat off.
Okay. Ezekiel 37:16. Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions.
Yeah, you got the sign. Go ahead.
It says, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand.
Now there's a reason why the sticks are going to be joined together, because there was a split. So Ezekiel is seeing a prophecy of the tribes coming back together, of the two kingdoms coming back together. And this is not
Rocket science.
rocket science,
Yeah,
man. That's what the scriptures are there for, to help you.
Simple. It's,
You
everything is simple.
can't make it say what you want it to say.
Right.
Go ahead, read on.
It says, and when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these?
Now, a lot of people, they'll come up, they don't know what's going on. They'll see a certain amount of men walking around with read out the scriptures, and then they'll look at us, and then they'll look at the sign.
Right.
And this happens
Yep.
so many times. Even Edomites, so-called Jews, so-called Jew come up, and they'll look at Judah, and they say, where am I at on the sign? Don't be trying to get at. I'm serious. This happened many times.
Yep.
He said, where am I at on the sign? I said, you're not on the sign. I said, well, who am I? Then you tell them that they're Edomites, man.
We've seen it so many times.
We've seen it so many times. Then you have a Judite come up, or a Simeonite, and they don't look at the sign, and then they say, oh, am I Simeon? Then you explain it to them, you're a Simeon. Eh?
Yep.
Now, Simeon, a lot of Simeon are really Judah,
Yeah.
because you might be a Judite, you know? Because you had a lot of the first slaves that came from Africa went to Santo Domingo,
Yeah.
to the island of Hispaniola.
So you have the
So a lot of them are Jew. So that don't mean that just because you were so-called Dominican, that don't mean that you
Simeon.
Simeon. You could be Judah, you could be Benjamin. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? I mean, the Jewish man, the Amalek man, if he said might come up and look at the sign talking about where am I, why don't the Jewish people, why do they say the tribes are lost? You look at Genesis 49, ain't nobody lost. So what do you mean, where am I? You just playing yourself right there off the gate. Because if you was a Jew, or if you were an Israelite, you would know
You
where the
would know.
tribes
You would
are.
know. You would know.
You wouldn't even be asking no
That's
bullshit
it.
like
That's
that.
it. That's it. That's
know?
it.
I have a
That's it.
precept, Apostle.
That's it.
All right.
We got precept man. You ain't bring out, and last week, brother, you didn't bring out no precept. What's up? Hey, brother, last week you didn't bring out no precepts. What's up? We call them precept man.
Yeah, you was a little gun shy last
You
week.
get one demerit.
You-
Remember the honeymooners?
Oh yeah. So come where we
I got
at?
precept. This is Isaiah 48:1. It says, "Hear ye this, O house of Jacob, which are called by the name of Israel, and are come forth out of the waters of Judah, which swear by the name of the Lord, and make mention of the power of Israel, but not in truth nor in righteousness." Now the point I wanted to make was that all who came out of Jacob, right? The 12 patriarchs, right?
God.
His name was later changed to Israel.
Right.
So technically, if you want to get technical about it, we all come out of Judah. You know? So it's not the point of what tribe you are, because you just don't know. But one thing we do know is that we are Israelites, you know? So, you know, our spirit is joined with the Lord. Hey, that's why you got a tribe called joined to the Lord. Joined to me. Who's that? Levi. But who's joined to the Lord? All the tribes.
Yeah.
See? So it's like the Lord made it that way. So like that could be a stumbling stone to people. They get, oh, I'm of the tribe of Judah, but how do you know that?
Well,
Right,
to back
you
you
know?
up, Judah, Yahweh,
Yeah.
is the Most High praise.
Right.
All
Yeah.
the tribes praise Him.
It just said that. It says, which swear by the name of the Lord. So technically, if you want to get more spiritual with it, Israelites that don't swear by the name of the Lord spiritually they're not the Israelites of the Most High. They're accounted to be heathens. You know.
What's that in Romans, the 9th chapter? They're not all Israel that are of Israel, or something like that.
Galatians.
Meaning the
Oh, I'm
elect.
sorry. Yeah.
Meaning the elect.
Yeah.
It's like Elder Pastor always brings
Israel
out.
ain't Israel.
You got an elect
Yeah, man.
of the elect. Yeah, Israel is the elect nation.
Israel of the Most High.
Israel.
Yeah, but
Galatians 6.
But out of Israel, you got an elect of the elect.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that was my point.
All right, so going back to Ezekiel 37:19. Say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand.
And there's no record of Ezekiel carrying around a sign with all the tribes on it.
That's right.
It's for us today.
Right.
That's it. It's a conversation piece. And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. Shall be in thy hand before their eyes.
It is right there.
And say unto them, thus saith the Lord, power, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone.
Now we got to deal with that.
Yeah.
You gonna have Israelites that are born into families where your brother might be an Edomite or a Tyr, you know, or another tribe. You might be of the tribe of Judah. Your sister might be of the tribe of Benjamin.
Right.
All right. And
That
we
can
live
happen,
among these other nations.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It says, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side.
Hey, wait a minute. Now, over there in West Africa, are there heathen over there? Yes.
Yes.
Are there Israelites over there? Yes.
Yes.
Are there Israelites over there to this very day? Yes. All right?
Yeah.
Because ISUPK says, oh, if you born in Ghana, you a Hamite. Well, how do you know that?
Right.
It says in several scriptures. One scripture come to mind is Deuteronomy 28:64.
Yep.
It speaks about them being scattered, man.
Yeah.
So you, like I said, you're gonna have family members that are of heathen nations, man.
Yeah.
I got a quick reason. Yeah.
Ghana is a majority Israelite country.
Well, they took it over.
I'm saying, but
Jake,
you just made a point that somebody said if you're born in Ghana, you're a heathen. When in fact you have more Israel in Ghana than
And
Ham.
Ham, and Ham.
It's a fact.
If you want to go deep, that whole West Coast is
yeah.
nothing but Jake. But you got Ham mingled, sprinkled among them.
Yeah.
And that's why anything that's talked about in Africa is always on the West Coast. If you notice that. Why? Because Jake is over there, man.
Right. Salt of the earth.
I know you got a precept.
He started
He
rolling
working on
up.
it. He working on it.
He started rolling up, but then he like,
I got a precept.
No,
you go.
got a precept.
Oh yeah, okay, I'll
You
slack
gotta
it, slack it.
his precept Trump and yours. No,
God, let the precept, man.
Yeah,
This,
yeah.
this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 11, verse 17. Therefore say thus, saith the Lord,
No, read
thy
16.
power-
Start at 16.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's some good stuff.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
And you brothers got to be careful when you're always reading out of the cell phone, man, because of the body of one.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
said
yeah.
you gotta be reading scriptures out of the cell phone.
That ain't the Bible.
You ain't got nothing better to do than to make fit. I don't know if y'all saw that video. Oh, okay, you saw. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
You
man.
know that's that old uncle at the barbecue.
Yeah.
Talk shit, you know. That's that dude, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He said that the Lord never performed one miracle. Then why would you call him the Lord? Why would anybody follow him? He didn't perform one miracle. So he's saying that the 4 Gospels are not part of the book. You know what these guys are guilty of? Well, we know what they're guilty of.
Taking away.
Taking away. And when you take away something, you got to replace it with something else.
Yeah.
But most I will jack these dudes up, man.
Yep.
I got a quick precept,
Go ahead.
if I may. Salaki, brother. I'll give it back to you. Ecclesiastes 10:3. Yea, also, when he that is a fool walketh by the way, his wisdom faileth him. And he saith to everyone that he is a fool.
Yep.
That's how you know a
And a
fool.
lot of these Israelite groups
Yes.
are going to be made to look like fools because the how can I say it? The digital oil is already out there.
Yep.
It's already manufactured and it's ready for you to line up
Yep.
and get chipped, man.
The digital oil is going to counter for.
That's it. That's it.
Run into a lot of bug out sleep.
Oh yeah. Well,
Oh, yeah.
well, brother, if you're in America, that's all you're going to run into. But
A lot of Israelite bug outs.
and well,
They're the worst kind.
those are the worst kind.
They're the worst kind.
Stay away from them, man. Go ahead.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
just 2 more verses? No, don't go back. Don't moonwalk, brother.
Don't be shy.
No, I'm not
You
sure.
get it on
I'm messing with you, brother. I'm
we
messing with you, brother.
That's what we do. Ecclesiastes 10:13. It says, the words of a wise man's mouth are gracious, but the lips, that's for the old uncle at the barbecue. You know,
Yeah.
That's him. That's him. It says, man. Everywhere. We going down the store, man.
Yeah.
What do you want? I want some brew, man. What kind of brew? Heineken, man.
Sound like it too.
That was funny.
Yeah, the hot dogs done? No, they ain't done yet, man.
No, but I like that dude. You know, when he gets into it, you know. We gonna come. It's the Most High gonna come, man. See?
There's a
The
junkyard
white man
dog
came out of the Caucasus Mountains, man.
It's a junkyard preacher.
Ecclesiastes 10:12. The words of a wise man's mouth are gracious, but the lips of a fool will swallow up himself. The beginning of the words of his mouth is foolishness, and the end of his talk is mischievous madness.
Mischievous madness.
Damn.
That's for the uncle at the barbecue.
Huh?
Uncle Pookie.
I just had one to back up what you brought out. Ecclesiastes 37:19. There was one that is wise and teacheth many, and yet is unprofitable to himself.
That's it.
He ain't wise, period. The stuff that jumps out of that guy's mouth, if you really process it, man, you'll lose heads.
But he said that we going off because we reading scriptures out of the smartphone.
Right.
It's the Bible.
It's still the scriptures.
Exactly.
And when we do videos, you bring up the blue letter. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is it? You don't use today's technology? Is that what you're trying to say? So if that's the case, why are you on YouTube, my man?
Why you got a phone?
Right.
Just, the best thing you can do
Yeah.
is be quiet.
Knowledge shall increase.
There you go.
You know?
The Heavenly Father created this technology And you know, it's beautiful to use the cell phone for the Bible because you can go to the scriptures so quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can go to the scriptures quicker than if you were to use a straight up Bible.
And then you could go right to the different words in
Oh,
the
yeah.
Greek or the Hebrew you want to look up.
Pull up blue letter.
It's easier.
Right.
You said it. It's easier. You can type in the search word and bam, all kinds of. You can't do that with just the Bible unless you go to the concordance. But then you got to go in the back. You got to
Yeah.
look it up.
Right.
Well,
so
back,
much easier.
back in the day, we used to carry a crate
Yeah.
full of books.
Yeah.
But now the books are here.
We even had the Egyptian book.
We used to go to the library all the time. All you got to do is go to Google.
And we even had the Egyptian
But that's
book.
the, if I may say, Apostle, that's them old dudes coming back again. Like a mafia, he had a problem. Things were going to the next
Yeah,
level.
yeah, yeah.
And one thing we notice in this truth, nothing stays the same.
Right.
It goes to the next level. Then
Yeah,
the next
Mafia
level. And
was
then-
old in age, and every time he got knowledge, he would spring a leak.
Yeah.
That wine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I remember we were going deep, and he said, "Wait a minute, y'all going too fast.
Right.
Y'all going too deep."
yeah.
You know?
Then he said, why we can't keep things the
Yeah,
way
he
they
was like,
are?
I can't,
Yeah.
yeah.
This
Yeah.
thing, elephant.
But that's why they don't get. That's why they can't get the mark of the beast.
That's it.
There's constant
Listen, I
elevation.
mean, if your eyes are open, if the Spirit open up your eyes, you can see it as plain as day, man. It's clear as day
Yeah.
that the mark of the beast is the microchip.
Yeah, how wish I said this is rivers of living water.
Right.
When last you seen rivers of living water just sit still? That thing keeps flowing, and you got to flow with it, or else
Yeah.
you're gonna get left behind.
Otherwise, you drizzle.
Well, we know that Ephraim is among us.
It's a lot.
We got the Ephraimite demon on him.
Well, like Yahushua said, you can't put new
And I was getting
wine.
on this guy. He was taking his time. I said, "Hey,
Oh,
up,
yeah,
brother."
yeah, man.
I said, "Focus, man."
Yeah, yeah.
Because I was ready.
Nah,
Don't
he
make
was-
this the
he
camera
was ready to
going.
go.
I'm ready to go, man.
Yeah.
Well,
Usually
like
I be
Yahushua said, he said you can't
Yeah.
put new wine
The
in
old
old
bottle.
bottle. That's an old bottle.
Yeah.
this thing
With a
broke.
couple of cracks on the
See
bottom.
it right there.
He's
Right.
a cracker. I got a
I'd
precept.
buy another one. Yeah, I was all.
Right, you go.
This is Matthew 13, verse 52.
Yeah, that dude came in when he was old. The old boy. He came in when he was old. So when he came up under Nate, he probably said, "Well, I'm older than this man. I'm older than this man."
Yeah. Oh, that dude.
Anyway, he was the one that was part of IUIC. He broke off. He did his own thing, which pretty much is like IUIC, but a little bit different.
Yeah.
The Most High is not dealing with that guy.
Oh hell.
Now I hope the Most High is ultimately dealing with him. He's an Israelite, but he ain't the Most High ain't dealing with him. He did a video going against us a couple of years back concerning the mark of the beast.
Yep.
And he's saying these guys are going off. I said, "Look, brother, you ain't on our level, man. So just keep it moving."
Yeah, there was a time. There was a time when you go out of order, you start saying crazy shit, you were put to death. You were put to death instantly, man. We're in the time of mercy, so that's why you haven't been put to death instantly. You got to watch what you say about this word, man. You can't
Yeah.
just be saying anything that jumps out of your
You
mouth,
just
man.
can't flirt. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, these words are precious.
There was I forgot the name of the guy. The three friends that helped Job. One of them, the Heavenly Father said, he told that man to go, you better go to Job
Right.
and have Job make a sacrifice for you, at least
Pray
I
for you,
tear
yeah.
you in pieces.
Yeah.
I didn't like what you were saying about me when you were trying to, and he was trying to comfort Job.
Right.
But then the Heavenly Father said, look, I don't like what you're saying about me.
Yeah, yeah.
So you better go to Job, have him do a sacrifice for you, at least I tear you in pieces. So what's the point? You can't just be saying anything you want to say, man.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account in the day of judgment. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned.
Condemned.
You know when you guys
know?
are going to start taking this seriously? 1 Peter 4:17. When that judgment rolls around, man,
Yeah.
then you go, you know what? Yeah, we better watch what we say. Most High ain't playing. Nah, no shit, the Most High ain't playing.
Ultimately, the scriptures say, "Eat this roll and go out and teach."
That's it.
What it means eat this roll, meaning take the whole roll. You can't take parts. Oh, like getting back with Alizé. Alizé made a video. They sent it to me concerning that we made up a doctrine, the rape doctrine, just to get on Nate. Well, you wasn't around back in the 90s, man.
Right.
This doctrine goes. That's part of the reason why we got kicked out too. Because they brought up the rape thing, but you wasn't there, brother.
Right.
You wasn't there, right? This ain't no thing where we sat down. Oh, let's come up with a doctrine so we can get on. No, We were teaching that back in the 90s, and what I tell you and Ricard, I said, don't tell them guys,
Right.
because them guys are emotional and they're gonna lose it.
Yep.
And then what happened to y'all?
We told
Y'all
them.
told them, and there was a whole big thing. I said, look,
Controversy, yep.
like I said, don't tell them guys that because it's going over their head. And whose head did it go over? It went over Nate's head, it went over Yasha's head,
Rahab.
it went over all of them. Got Rahab, but Rahab was on the low level anyway. He a little tadpole anyway. It went over all them guys' head, just like the Cornelius thing went all over them guys' head. Just like the mark of the beast, I got to bring that up again. It's still over their head, man. Still over their head.
We couldn't believe
Hold
how,
up, one minute,
we
brother.
couldn't believe how they were acting, man. They're like one guy was like, this guy likes to hurt women. You got news for
Who
you,
said
women
that?
like
Who said that, Rahab?
Rahab.
Let me tell you something about Rahab. I used to go clubbing with that nigga. And he used to talk, yeah, when I hit my woman, I want to make her cry. So what the fuck?
So
you
he's a
talking
hypocrite.
He a fucking hypocrite.
He said
He's a
this,
hypocrite.
he said this guy when we
Oh,
told
you
him
gotta
about the
hit him.
rape
You gotta
thing.
hit him. You gotta hit him hard.
He said
Blah,
this
blah,
guy
blah.
likes to hurt women.
But he
Wait,
said
hit him like that or hit him like that?
Hit him, sexually.
Hit him
Oh,
with the
okay. I
belt.
With the
thought.
rhythm stick, brother, with the rhythm stick,
Okay.
with the bamboo stick.
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta
Okay.
hit him below the belt.
Because some, you know, you got some people.
Yeah, well, if you get off on that,
Yeah,
that's a problem.
Some
got
niggas be
issues.
doing that. You
He
know?
kind of sound like Bill Cosby.
You know, he
It's like just like Bill Cosby.
it's all good.
Hey, so let's go. Let's go.
I got.
Hey, can I
Go
bring
ahead,
up
go ahead.
this point,
Go
Master?
ahead.
Job 42, 7 and 8. And it was so that after the Lord had spoken these words unto Job, the Lord said to Eliphaz the Temanite, my wrath is kindled against thee, and against thy two friends, for ye have not spoken of me the thing that is right, as my servant Job hath. Therefore take unto you now 7 bullocks and 7 rams, and go to my servant Job, and offer up for yourselves a burnt offering, and my servant Job shall pray for you. For him will I accept, lest I deal with you after your folly, in that you have not spoken of me the thing which is right, like my servant Job hath.
Right.
That's plain, man.
Now he told him to put up a sacrifice, right? So he can be forgiven.
Right.
Now this guy, Alizé's talking about we're gonna be doing sin sacrifice in the kingdom. That's another thing that he's going off on.
Yeah.
In the kingdom of heaven, we're not gonna be sacrificing animals
No.
for sin.
Nope.
Why? Because we're not gonna be committing sin.
Be perfect.
We're gonna keep the law perfect.
Yeah.
You're gonna be programmed.
Yeah.
That's perfect word.
Just like right now we're programmed to go off, in the kingdom we're going to be programmed to be righteous. What is it, law, statutes, and commandments being put into our inward parts going to do if we imperfect? Here it is, we're imperfect now, but then when the kingdom comes, we're going to go off still?
Precept.
Come on, man.
Yeah, but what's the point there? The point
You
is
got
the
to
Lord
walk
was
up, brother.
the point is the Lord was getting ready to kill this man.
Yeah.
Because he didn't speak the thing that was right, which that shows you it's important to speak the thing that is right of the Lord, man. That's the point.
Right.
So
Shalom, shalom.
This is
Yeah, the precept.
this is Psalms 50 verse 9. It says, I will take no bullock out of thy house, nor he goats out of thy fields. For every beast of the forest is mine, and the cattle upon 1,000 hills. I know all the fowls of the mountains, all the wild beasts of the field are mine. If I were hungry, I would not tell thee, for the world is mine, and the fullness thereof. Will I eat the flesh of bulls, or drink the blood of goats? Offer unto the Most High thanksgiving, and pay thy vows unto the Most High.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like Samuel told King Saul, obedience is rather preferred than sacrifice. You know, the ultimate thing that the Most High is more concerned with and more pleased with is obedience. Right. You know, and that's why, because the
speaking his
sacrifice.
word right.
Yeah. Because,
his word right.
but that's the obedience part.
Yeah.
Because you know, like the sacrifices were all set up until what? That was a temporary thing until Yahweh Shai came on the scene. Because there came a point where the Lord said, look, I don't wait with your sacrifice. If you offer a sacrifice to me, it's like if you offering swine's flesh unto me.
Well, if I may add to, Apostle Paul went into the Hebrews the 7th chapter.
That's
he
it.
broke it down.
Yeah.
He got it. He got That's why, you know, we got all into it.
Yeah, and that's what them guys say that, well, Apostle Paul goes on, book of Hebrews, they dismiss it. But the scriptures also say in Psalms that there was going to come a high priest after the order of Melchizedek.
That's right.
And Abraham, it said that Abraham paid tithes, Levi paid tithes in Abraham's nutsack, so to
Right,
speak.
right.
You know, through
Because
Melchizedek.
Melchizedek was a Judite. That was
Right.
Yahushua.
Right.
So, come on, man.
I have a precept.
Ye err not knowing the scriptures.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Melchizedek is going to be in that highest seat. He's going to be in the highest seat.
That's right.
So what the hell is this guy talking about? Oh, King David and Peter, they're just going to be kings. There's no big deal, which is bullshit, man. King David's coming back in his lot.
That's it.
Melchizedek is coming back in his lot.
Yep.
Peter's coming back in his lot.
Abraham.
Same man, you know. Abraham's coming back in his lot.
Yeah. Hey, look, man. What? I mean, here it is. You know, like Job said. You know, all the hell he caught. He said, look, although after this flesh perisheth, yet with my own eyes will I see the Savior and not another. So what sense does it make if you sacrifice your life all these different times, right? And then you come back at the end and you just be a regular dude.
Right.
Then you're not going to receive the reward after all of that work you done put in, all of these different lifetimes.
The
you came
ones
back?
that's going to get the crowns is the ones that stood so stiffly for the word. When the kingdom comes, the Most High did, oh, but we're going to push all you niggas to the side. We got these new niggas that was out there selling drugs,
Right.
being homosexual and all that, and we're going to get the fuck out of here,
Right.
man. They're not going to be here, man.
The
They're
spirit-
going to have to come back in the reincarnation.
Right. The
As
spirit-
newborn babes.
The spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets.
Quick precept, 2 Timothy
Crazy,
2,
man. It's just insane.
2 Timothy 2:15 and 16.
You got to stop playing games with these scriptures, man.
That's it.
That's
You
it.
got everybody named mama putting on a garment, going out there just teaching.
Yeah.
Guys just don't know nothing about One West
Right.
that might have came into this thing 3 years ago. Why the fuck did you come into this in the first place? Because you saw us on YouTube. Who did you see first?
Right.
You saw GMS first. All right?
That's it. 2 Timothy 2,
So the Most High gonna get rid of y'all, get y'all out of the way, man.
Yeah,
1
man.
Peter 4 and 17.
Same motherfuckers that take the winters off. Now
Yep.
back in One West, we went out every winter.
Every winter.
So now you like dealing with Nathaniel guy. This guy's looking sickly, man. He sounds sick. He sounds like he's ready to drop dead.
Yeah.
Based upon the last video that he did. What does he have? Is he having some type of problem, an ailment? We don't know. Is the Most High directly cursing him?
Right.
Probably so.
Yep.
Because this guy's proud, man.
He made
Did a
fun
lot
of the
of
Most High's
wickedness.
He
name.
Did a
made
lot of
fun of the
wickedness.
Most High's
And
name,
Yahushua's
man.
name.
So if something happened to you, man, hey man, I done fuck that dude. Don't give him shit.
I was just thinking that.
Don't give him
I
a
didn't say
goddamn
nothing.
thing.
Yeah.
That's the spirit.
Hey, there's an old song, it serves you right to suffer. Well, that's you, man. It serves you right to suffer. You don't make mockery of the name of Yahushua and expect to just skate off into the sunset, man. It don't work that way.
Hey, we are the ones. Tell me if we're not standing stiffly for the word. We out here. When the winter time comes, some of y'all ain't gonna be out here when it gets cold. I'm not talking about this December. I'm talking about the second week in January,
Real talk.
the whole month of February.
That bitter
Real talk.
cold.
Now you might be out here to say, look, I'm gonna show you prove the hard wrong. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Because the Apostle Paul made a statement, in season and out of season.
That's right.
You know, you put on the heavy coat. You know, it might be so cold. Don't be a damn fool and stand out there and your finger goddamn turn black. Then you're a goddamn fool. You're holding posts and your fingers are turning black. You gotta, if it's too goddamn cold, you cut the day short.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Prudence.
That's it. Hey, that's discretion.
Yeah. Prudence.
See now,
discretion.
IUIC, they take. I'm talking about in the East Coast, the Northeast. They don't come out. They're seasonal Israelites. They
Right.
come out only in the summer, in the spring, and the fall. When winter comes in, you don't see them nowhere. Well, that's clearly taken away from the scriptures.
They're in the bunny slippers with a couple hot cocoa and shit.
May I read this real quick, Apostle?
Yeah, you got it. You got it. You got it.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 17.
Watching Peppa Pig.
For we are not as many which corrupt the word of the Most High,
It is, man.
but as of sincerity But as of the Most High, in the sight of the Most High, speak we in Yahweh Shai.
So, yeah, in the sight of, because around us are angels.
Yeah.
Now, the job of the angel is to go back and forth
That's
to report to the Heavenly Father. So, hey, you saying all your bullshit, the angel's right there. Okay, really?
Yep.
Then the angel go right back to the Heavenly
If
Father.
he has the apocryphal,
Yeah, you heard what this
second
nigga said? Blah, 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 blah.
40.
Because that's what the angels do. They report back to the Heavenly Father. The word angel means messenger. So that's what that was the Apostle Paul you read? Apostle Rama.
Yes,
The Apostle
yes,
Paul
yes.
you
2
read.
Corinthians
In
2.
the sight, what does that mean? We speak in the sight of Yahweh Shemashah.
That's
What does
it.
that mean? Meaning in the presence of the Heavenly Father.
Yeah.
It was angels.
Yeah.
The angels are present around us right now.
Yahweh Shai said, he said, you know, that I'm always with you, even to the end of the world.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
so his presence is always around.
Exactly. So how
You know?
can we not know his name?
Right.
And before you go there, give me 2 Timothy 4, verse 1. Really, the key point is around about the 4th, 5th verse, but start at the top.
This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 1. It says, I charge thee, therefore, before the Most High and the Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, who shall judge the quick and the dead at his appearing and his kingdom. Preach the word, be instant, in season, out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine.
And we're in that time. There's guys listening to certain guys, going back to the MOTB, Mark of the Beast, that this, like General Yohana said, the mark of the beast is sleeping with white women. If you have half the brains, you're going to say, well, that don't make no sense. King Solomon had the mark of the beast. If you're really into the scriptures and studying the scriptures, especially the prophecies, you would say that doesn't make no sense, because guess what? When did the beast, I'm asking y'all, when did the beast come on the scene? By show of hands, don't yell out. When did the beast come on the scene? Because the scriptures speak about the mark of the beast, but when did the beast come on the scene? Anybody? Now I want them to answer. When did the beast, well, let me phrase it this way. Who is the beast? Who is the beast? Esau, but go deeper. Good. Roman Empire. It's not talking about a regular Edomite that's walking down the street.
Right.
He's not the beast.
Right.
The beast is really the Roman Empire. That's the first beast.
Right.
When you go to Daniel, matter of fact, go to that, please.
Daniel 7.
Now we got to deal with the beast. Now we got to deal with the beast. And then when you understand the prophecies, because you know me, I'm always going into the prophecies. Yohana said Solomon had the mark of the beast. If you're really into the scriptures, you're going to say, that don't make no fucking sense.
Right.
Don't make no sense.
That wasn't written till around 96 AD around there. And King Solomon, about the beast.
Exactly.
And then King
Well,
Solomon.
the thing about Daniel is really written about Daniel.
Oh, yeah,
So go to that real quick, please.
Daniel 7:7. After this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible.
Stop right there. That's a fourth beast. Who can name the first three before the fourth beast? Who can name? I don't. Yaakov, I don't want you to answer. You a teacher.
Right.
You a teacher.
I'm assuming the first one's Babylon.
Boom,
Yep,
Babylon.
there we go. That's one.
How do you know that? Why would you say
Because of
that?
the statue. Babylon.
There you
I
go.
guess the Medo-Persian.
There you go.
Body, I guess, was
The third one.
the third one.
Come on now, they made a movie on
Oh, Alexander.
There you
it.
go.
Thank you.
And then
So this
the
man's been studying.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You know.
The Greeks, yep. And then the Romans, which is the fourth
And the
empire.
Romans is all, even Edomite scholars will tell you that. They'll mention that the Roman Empire. Now they won't talk about Babylon being America, but some of them still do that. So go ahead, beautiful eye.
Gone.
The Babylonians, the Medo-Persians, which were two kingdoms, the
Right.
Medes and the Persians, two different nations one came over the other, and then you had the Greeks.
The Greeks, yep.
And that's in secular history.
That's it.
All right?
And those are empires that ruled consecutively, if I'm saying it correctly,
Right,
one
right.
after the other.
Right.
Not the other,
Yeah. So
Not concurrent.
concur. Oh, all right.
The medial person.
That was around what, like
Right,
400,
yeah.
400-ish?
I'm talking about what time you talking about?
The Medes and the Purge. The Medes and the Purge,
It was-
then
it
the
was about
Greeks,
five-
then the
about
Romans.
500,
Okay,
500,
okay.
about
All right,
500.
right,
That's when
right,
they took
yeah.
over. Yep.
Because Prophet Ezra was on this.
Right. Yep. That's right. That's right. So it says, after this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly, and it
It
had.
only makes sense that that's the Roman Empire,
Yeah.
the ancient Roman Empire, and it's not the Antichrist. Go ahead.
And it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of
Now,
it.
iron is very important because all nations that made swords, they made them out of iron, but no nation used as much iron for weaponry as the Romans.
Yep.
That's why I said he had great iron teeth.
Right. Yeah, because that was the strongest military empire out of all of the other empires. They all were good at what they did, but as iron is stronger than all those other metals, they were the strongest empire, and even today.
I was watching
You know?
the brothers from England. They were out there on the street. They brought out a good point about the Roman Empire. They used the farmers to put them in their army.
Yeah,
They didn't use the men that dwell in the city. The men that dwell in the city tend to be a little feminine.
right.
The farmers were hard working. They
Yeah.
were tough. So they put them in that. And it made sense.
Yeah,
The brothers brought that out.
they beat their swords into plowshares.
Even now, the American army,
plowshares
they use
and
cats
swords.
from down south.
Yeah,
Cats from down-
Midwest, the Bible
Yeah.
Belt, down south. Yep.
Yeah.
Those dudes are more stronger than the cats of
Yeah.
up north, especially north. They're metrosexual.
Yeah.
They're concerned about their pretty and all that. you
Well,
know?
they brought up in the metropolis.
Yeah, but the
Well,
dudes
George Washington was a farmer.
yeah, the dudes on the farm, they don't care how they look. They got to eat. So
Right.
to do a day's work, you got to get into it to eat.
Yeah.
You know, so you're gonna be rough. You ain't gonna have time worrying how pretty you look and all that bullshit.
Yeah, and back then they didn't have no tractors. You know, like the shit now, people just driving a big ass tractor. You know, back then men used to have the what was it, Lisher? He was plowing with
A yoke of 12 oxen.
Yeah.
Which means 24 oxen.
So you know how much power that takes.
Hey,
So
hey,
he wasn't no weak guy. This guy had, you know what I'm saying? You want to talk about the gun show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to talk about pecs?
Oh
You
yeah.
know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He was busting
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
I
He
seen
was a
that.
strong, rough guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that with my own two eyes in St. Lucia. People at work, they go up in something called the country,
Right.
and they're working under the bananas. They got the machete. That's hard fucking work. I did it for about a year. That's because my father, he said, I want to show you how the other half live. Because I was doing bad in school, so he took me to St. Lucia. I'm working under the bananas, carrying them shits, you know, down the hill and shit. Yeah, man. So
Yeah.
the point is, them people are rough. Them people ain't no, you know, you got to carry them bananas on your head, man. On your way up on the hill, you got to carry them down to the hill to the boxing shed, so they could be boxed and shipped to America, England, where.
Remember the moving job that we did?
Oh yeah,
They
yeah,
showed
yeah,
you,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
my strength is that.
Oh yeah. What was that?
All over the TV set.
Yeah, he
and
did the
I'm
Latin.
bugging,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Hey, brother, we did a movie, just two of us.
yeah.
And that was a whole fucking house.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It was like 5 in the morning. The 444. And the last thing was the old-fashioned TVs. And this brother was walking, you know. And I
Yeah.
picked up the damn TV and I just ran up the stairs and he looked at me in amazement. But I mean,
yeah,
I was
yeah.
a lot younger.
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
younger. But
Got
that's
that
what the
surge.
Most High is dealing with. Not the Most High, but in the military, they like those guys
Warriors.
that are picking up things, chopping trees and shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the way me and you work,
Yeah.
the Irish guy we're working for, as hard as he worked, we work harder than him.
Yeah.
We tired him out.
And
Man,
we
we
were
carry-
working for
we-
mobile.
man, we carry- yeah, yeah.
boxes and shit.
Yep, me and you were carrying a fucking 40-foot LVLs, going up a goddamn ladder to the 3rd floor.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
slip.
Wow.
Yeah.
Moving
I'm
is,
not-
I
I'm
used to move
35,
furniture.
35.
You know what LVLs
You
are,
gotta be
right?
in
You know how
shape.
heavy them shits are.
That was a while ago.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
You know how heavy them shits are, right? LVLs. Yeah, about what, 40 foot something?
Yeah.
You had the front.
front.
You said, go ahead, brother, move
Push,
it.
push.
Yeah, push it. So
Because if you don't
Yep.
if you don't work in tandem,
Yep.
what
Right,
happens?
no.
You're going up the ladder, and the one going up the ladder is going to start falling backwards.
because we were building a roof.
Right.
And even this Italian dude, he said, 3 of you guys built this house?
Yeah.
He said, yep. It was our boss and
You
me
back
and
in
him.
the days, yeah.
They call us the dynamic duo. Me and this guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, and like in the military, right? You have when they train. What do? They train to exhaustion.
Right.
And when you get to the exhaustion, what happens? That's when they push you.
That's what they push you.
You know, and why? Because I saw the movie Lone Survivor, right? In the movie Lone Survivor, them dudes, there's 4 of them. They were going through hell. They was falling off a mountain, busting themselves up, getting shot, and they had to keep moving. Fucking bones sticking out of their fucking shit, and they had to keep on moving. But that was a part of the training. So, you know, once you got nothing left in the tank, that's when you got to dig in. And that shit ain't easy, man. Yeah, and that's the same thing, exactly.
That's it.
You know, when you got nothing left in the tank, that's when it counts.
Oh, by the way, that moving
No,
job,
you know about
it
that.
stopped at 444.
Yeah, 444.
We looked at because Pastor Tar had I think you had a beer. We both cracked.
Something like that, yeah.
We both cracked open the beer, and we were looking at the time on the
clock.
On the clock, it said 444. So we started the moving job about noon, 12:30.
The sun was up.
And then he had a guy. He later told me he had AIDS.
He died.
The guy bowed out, so it was left out to me and him to move. We had to move all that furniture. Like he said, he took the TV. He took the TV.
The old school box.
Them
Ran up
heavy,
the
them
stairs.
stuff are heavy.
Yeah. He ran up the stairs and boom, Yeah. You got it.
All right, so back in Daniel 7, in the middle of 7, and it was it devoured, and I'll start at the top. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped a residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns.
Yeah, what made it diverse was the fact that those other kingdoms had kings.
Right.
The Roman Empire didn't have kings. They had emperors, commanders, which were voted in by the Senate.
Right.
And that's why the first so-called king was Julius Caesar, and they killed him. The Senate killed him because he wanted to be a dictator.
Right.
He said, nah, this ain't about a dictatorship. This is about us putting you in office until we put the other guy in office.
Right.
Which this is Rome all over again. You know? That's just brief prophetic stuff.
Yeah.
But then when you read on, it seems like it's talking about the Lord's going to come during the time of the Roman Empire, which there's a second part of the Roman Empire, which is America right now, NATO and the EU.
Yeah.
So know which
Right.
beast is going to give you the mark.
Right.
Not the Roman Empire,
Right. Because the
because they
Roman
don't
Empire
have that technology.
is long and gone. They're
The
long-
new beast, which is the new Roman Empire,
Right.
or the beast, has the technology.
Yeah.
So now why would, let's say they gave you the mark of the beast during the Roman Empire. Solomon was way before the Roman Empire, man. Solomon was living around 900, 800 BC.
Yep.
The Romans came about around about the first, a little bit like 45, 65 BC. So we're talking about hundreds of years, man.
Right.
So for you to make a statement that Solomon had the mark of the beast is way the hell off.
Right.
Like if you was to confront them guys, them ISUPK guys, and really go into them scriptures, go into them prophecies, they're not gonna have the answers.
You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna, hey, you guys are rapists.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they always do that.
They
always
use
do
ad
that.
hominem
Yeah.
attacks.
Yeah.
Ad hominem attacks. I got a scripture.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Which is false accuser because
That's
we
it.
ain't never raped. Where's the
That's it.
receipt of us rape? I'm not. Look, brother. The whole saying is, I like my meat seasoned.
Exactly.
We all know what that means. You want to have sex with a woman that knows what she's doing.
Right.
I don't want to tell a woman what
Right.
to do.
Right.
I want her to flow
With me.
with the Joe.
Flow with the joke. You know?
Even in that, they're stupid because you pick up any dating
No.
magazine, it'll tell you, man.
Yeah.
The number one fantasy of a woman is to get raped. It's right there in black and effing white, okay?
They like to role play.
I got a quick precept. Titus 1, 10 and 10 and 11. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision. Those are the Israelites that know that they're Israelites, like Johanna, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses. Subvert, that's the key word there. Subvert means to turn the truth over, to turn it under. Sub means under, vert means truth. So by all that crap they're teaching, they're turning the truth under. They're hiding the truth. So it says, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not for filthy lucre's sake. That's exactly what that dude is doing.
And we believe that, you know, all these years we've been teaching about the MOTB, there's got to be a point where you got to say, you know what, it makes sense. But would they say that? No, because if they said that, then they would say, well, wait a minute, why are we being taught under you? Shouldn't we go with GMS or whoever's teaching, man? Yep. You know? Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Daniel chapter 7, verse 8. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots.
We don't got to go into that. We covered that. We just want to go into a basic history. Where we at? Let's go back to Ezekiel 37.
Okay.
23 and 24 again.
Slack. Ezekiel 37, 23. Okay. Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 23. It says, neither shall they defile themselves anymore with their idols.
I'm sorry, 17.
Slack. Okay. Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 17. It says, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand.
Now I want to say this one, the other, you got Israelite groups that are just Old Testament. They don't deal with the New Testament, non-Messianic, right? Those guys came up a couple of years back on some other TV with the debates. Where are they now? The only one left is really Zion Lex. And I was watching a video with Zion Lex, and even he quoted out of the New Testament. So really, he's a Messianic, but he's not fully into it. Go ahead.
I was about to say, I could have swore I saw something where the man you just mentioned is with the NT now.
Okay, good. Well, that's a good thing. All praises. All praise. But
maybe about a month ago. I don't want to say 100%.
Well, I saw a video with him quoting out of the New Testament. So,
I don't know
is he coming around?
Yeah,
yeah. Hey, it's beautiful if he comes around. But most of them other guys that are non-Messianic, meaning Old Testament only, ain't nobody talking about them people out there in Israel. The focus is on who? The one West, as they call it. You know?
Quick precept.
Go ahead. Let them say we got
the interesting thing is about the Old Testament cats, they don't want to accept Yahushua. But Yahushua is all up and through the Old
it's
Testament.
all up. Yep.
Like,
it's all up.
Who do you say Psalms 22:16 is? Like, I don't get it.
Psalms 22 from verse 1. The whole chapter is really King David prophesying about Yahushua.
Right.
I mean, who pierced my hands and my feet? Who did that?
David. He didn't do it to David.
Yep.
Another thing about the Old Testament only, they really don't understand the Old Testament.
Right.
Because what's in the Old Testament? Prophecies. Ask them to break down Daniel 7. Ask them to break down Daniel 8. Ask them to break down Isaiah 34. Then you'll be forced to go into the future. Eh?
Yeah. Oh, Isaiah 66 and 15.
Isaiah 6.
Yeah, Isaiah 6.
So the Messiah came down in Isaiah 6.
Clearly, Isaiah 66:15 said the Lord will come with his whirlwind like, chariots, right?
Facts.
So when is that going to happen?
I have a precept.
You got it.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 7. Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O Most High.
And that's originally quoted from Psalm 40 and 7.
Right. So it's quoted in the Old and the New. So
I got something to back you up. Matthew 13:52. Then said he unto them, therefore, this is Yahushua speaking, therefore every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which bringeth forth out of his treasure things new and old.
Old Testament and New Testament. There's certain things you can answer in the New Testament by going into the Old Testament. There's certain things, the answer of the Old Testament is in the New Testament.
You know, Salakia, that's why what I remember from going to church, they seldom touch the Old Testament. I mean, you might hear the story of, David threw a rock at
Right.
Goliath,
Yep,
but stuff like
they'll read the
prophecy
story, exactly.
and the Israelites are black, you know, the scriptures.
Churches don't even touch prophecy.
No.
The only people at churches that touch prophecy are Edomites, certain prophetic Edomites. Go to the Sunday school, go to some Baptist church, you ain't gonna hear nothing about prophecy. You ain't gonna hear nothing about Revelation, Isaiah, Ezekiel. You're not gonna hear it because they don't know it, man.
No.
Well, my heart is, when they lift, they do honor me, but their heart is far from me. Go ahead, Al. Go ahead, bring it on out.
This is Matthew 5:18. This is Yahweh Shah. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled.
So the law is not done away with. Now, when you look up that word jot, which if you ask a lot of Israelites, they don't even know what a jot is. What is a jot? A jot goes back to the Hebrew, which is a yah, which is the smallest character of the Hebrew. See, a lot of these guys, they'll write Yahweh and they'll write the yah as big as the rest of the words. Well, you're going off. The smallest letter in the Hebrew or character is the yah, so that's where you get the jot from. So what is it saying about the jot? You can't do away with the littlest part of the law.
Right.
So the rape thing you gotta deal with.
Yeah.
It ain't like we raping, you be a fucking fool. Look what the light's going through, man.
Yeah.
All right? You be a goddamn fool to do something like that. Statutorily, to rape, to lay with a woman, even if she wants to have sex with you, you're gonna get locked up. Look what R. Kelly's going through. And R. Kelly, if he did that in the ancient world, they wouldn't even mention his name.
Nah.
Because David and the great kings, well, let's deal with David. David had a harem of women.
Yep.
Solomon had 1,000 women. Do you think Solomon went out and was attracted by a 47-year-old divorcee? No. He was getting all the women that Solomon had were virgins, man.
Oh, yeah.
So they had to be young and tender.
Tender!
You got to talk to my man over here because he's the expert on it.
Good precept, Isaiah
Talking about
42.
young and tender. You got brothers mad at you, man. And
Yeah, they was
kicking you out of synagogues. Barack, you can't even come there. We kicking you out. And then you came up to me and you said, "What do I think about?" I said, "Brother, ain't nothing wrong with that." But the mistake that you made was, in this society, these women's heads are fucked up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
These women's heads are fucked up. Women that are in her 30s and 40s, their heads are fucked up. Can you imagine a younger woman? Her head is really fucked up.
Yep.
You know?
I'm gonna tell
all
you,
that's gonna happen in the kingdom.
even though the situation is over with, it was Negroes that, it was the hatred that I got that blew up the whole situation.
They didn't go. They got emotional. They didn't want to deal with the law.
Yeah.
They didn't want to deal with the law.
That's what
Well,
really.
maybe if they up their game, they'd be able to hang out with you.
Right.
They had no game, man. Shit.
Hey,
Yeah.
and Al-Azhar got emotional about it, and even Polite had to go to California, and even Polite studied it, and even showed him what the words mean in the Hebrew, and Al-Azhar still couldn't get it. Why couldn't Al-Azhar get it? Because he's emotional, man.
Right.
He can't picture his daughter getting raped. You know what I'm saying? He can't
and it
picture his
happened.
sister getting raped. But in the ancient world, that happened.
It happened.
Not that I'm saying, and we got a lot of young men in our camp. You think I'm gonna make a statement like that for somebody to go ahead and rape, it's a hard talk. No, I didn't tell you nothing. I said, this is what they did. And they killed homosexuals. Any of you guys in GMS is gonna kill homosexuals, brother. You're going to jail by yourself.
Exactly.
You know?
You on your own, Jack.
You just choking out faggots, left and right. You going to jail, but I said, we're going to throw you under the bus and the train. Well, yeah, you're the head of GMS. I said, the man's out of his goddamn mind. Throw the book at that dude,
Yeah.
you know? Where we at?
I got a precept. 1 Corinthians 6.
Hey, all things are not lawful.
All things are lawful
Oh,
unto
snap.
me.
Look at that.
No, that's all right. 1 Corinthians 6 and 12. All things are lawful unto me, But all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. There, the key word there is expedient.
Wow, I didn't know you had that precept.
That's good. It's all good. That's it. That's
But it's true, you know, everything has its time. You know, we're under this man's authority. You know, we're not in the kingdom of heaven. And in the kingdom of heaven, that's not going to go down anyway. Because everything's going to be in order. You know?
Yeah, in the kingdom, we're going to get our women young when they pass the flower of the age.
Yeah.
Meaning when their period comes, you might wait another year until she's about 13. But we're going to get them young, man. As I said before, and these guys got mad at me, man. We're going to get them young. See, you've been in this society too goddamn long. Where we at?
I got a precept for you again. This is dealing with King David. Okay. Go ahead, Bill. I got it.
Do you want to go back to Daniel?
Yeah, go. No.
Oh, Ezekiel.
Go
Salaki.
to Ezekiel.
Ezekiel 37 and 17. And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand.
Got it. If I may read it.
Go ahead.
1 Kings 1:1. Now King David was old and stricken in years.
Come on, man.
Whoa, what's up?
No, I'm just saying that scriptures that are written aforetime are written for our learning.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Now King David was old and stricken in years, and they covered him with clothes, but he got no heat. Wherefore his servant said unto him, Let there be sought for my lord the king a young virgin, and let her stand before the king, and let her cherish him, and let her lie in thy bosom, that my lord the king may get heat.
Now, how old did she have to be?
Very young.
It doesn't tell you,
Right.
but it had to be after puberty.
Right.
12, 13 years old.
Right.
Okay?
Now,
And the word there for virgin is the word baswala, which means one that's never been touched by a man.
Right.
Now in this society, they call King this dirty old man.
Yeah, pedophile.
Dirty old man.
It's true.
But then they'll turn around and say they believe in the Bible. Oh yeah, I believe in the Bible.
shit.
That's the word of God. Blah, 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 blah. But here I just read where an old man with a young woman. No, that's a dirty old man. You don't believe in the Bible. You're a hypocrite.
Right.
That's it.
All right. So Ezekiel 37:17. And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, Wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Say unto them, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick. And they shall be one in thine hand. And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. And say unto them, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side.
And we're being gathered.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Matter of fact, I have
Precept for you. Isaiah 11 and 11. I'll start there. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Paphros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
Africa, West Africa, East Africa, South Africa, North Africa, Elam, India, China.
Japan. Yeah.
Japan.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Everywhere where you have a nation, you have Israelites there.
Well, what about when Yahweh Shai comes? Did not the scripture say he'll gather his elect from the four corners of the earth?
Yeah. From the one end of heaven even to the other.
Go ahead, Ox. Go ahead.
This is Ezekiel 11 and 16.
Yeah.
I'm going to read down to 17. Therefore say, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, although I have cast him far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet I will be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come.
Countries.
Therefore,
We got brothers in Italy, man. That's a little sanctuary. That's something, man. Brothers
England, Germany.
Yeah, kicking that Italian, man. You know? Yeah, man. It's something to see, man. And by the
Australia.
way, Great Millstone, we're the ones that have camps over the whole world. I don't know about no IUIC in Italy. I don't know about no ISUPK in Italy, but we got GMS Italy. Now, I shouldn't say we, Yahweh Shem Yahushai have made GMS Italy, GMS Holland,
Germany,
GMS Australia.
Wow.
Germany,
Nah.
Germany.
But that ain't us. That's Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
Yeah.
He got to make he got to make good on his word.
Yeah.
He said it. You just read the scripture. Ezekiel 11:16. A small
Matthew
sanctuary
24:14.
in the countries where they shall come.
Right.
That's it. That's it. Yep. I got a quick precept, Apostle. This is a Hosea 8:8.
And we want to go back into Ezekiel. We got to finish that.
Con. Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein is no pleasure. So
So
back
we're
to
hated. We're getting shot, have to shoot you in the back, discriminated against.
Con. Back in Ezekiel 37:21. And say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side and
That's talking about now. Go ahead.
bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel. And one king shall be king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. But I will save them out of all their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their power. And David, my servant,
Literally.
and David, my servant,
Literally.
and David, my servant, shall be king over them.
Now, how in the hell can you break that down any other way?
Right.
It's mentioning the name David. It's mentioning the name the Israelites.
Yeah.
It's mentioning how the Most High gathered them together from among the heathen. All right. It's mentioning that they're going to go back to the land of Israel, right? And it mentions that the King David shall sit on his throne again. How in the hell can you get any other
Understanding, yeah.
Understanding from that?
Yeah. I'll read it again for
And
this.
somebody hold Isaiah 19.
I'll get this.
Start at the top. We're going to try to read that whole thing.
And David, my servant, shall be king over them, and they shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob, my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt. And they shall dwell therein, even they and their children, and their children's children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince
There
forever.
it goes again. My servant David for the second time shall be their prince for how long?
Forever.
Forever.
Another precept for you. Ezekiel 34:23 and 24. And I will set up one shepherd over them, and he shall feed them, even my servant David. He shall
Where
feed
you
them.
reading from?
Ezekiel 34:23.
Go ahead.
And I will set up one shepherd over them, and he shall feed them, even my servant David. He shall feed them, and he shall be their shepherd. And I, the Lord, will be their power, and my servant David, a prince among them. I, the Lord, have spoken it.
There's a prince among them, meaning there's going to be many princes and many kings. But you're going to have the number one king, and you're going to have another. Who would be the number two king?